Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Smashy Business Show. Of course, I am Farah Bashir, joining me.
And I'm Anika.
Yes, and as we mentioned yesterday, Dubla did mention that she will be leaving you guys with me. So before we start, let me just give you a quick run through of our stories for the day. Founder of Muslim dating app Muzz claims Jewish dating app has cloned it, and as well, Meta Israel-Hamas misinformation likely AI generated. And this comment, never trust an Arab, which is a racist comment that has piled up in the Financial Times comment section after the Aramco story. And as well, Disney boycott casts doubt on the Pixar's revival, which is Inside Out 2. So before we do that, let's start with good morning, Anika. So as we said, Lubna is not there. She left you guys with me, and Anika is joining me.
I'm filling in with all my opinions and thoughts.
Yes, which is honestly very exciting. How was your day?
It's good. I've been a little on edge right now, like especially today, because today in India they're having our elections.
Oh.
So it's when the voting is done.
Yeah.
It's the counting today.
Oh my God. Okay.
So, literally watching the history of our democracy in the making, seeing what's going to happen. Is it going to be the same party coming in again for another term? That would be 12 years of Narendra Modi in India.
Okay.
Or would it be the opposition party finally coming back after a long time? They've been campaigning pretty hard. They've been making a lot of memes on social media. So yeah, it's very interesting, very exciting. The stock market's really wilding.
Yeah, I can imagine, for sure.
It's going pretty crazy. But
yes.
a lot to check out today in the news.
I mean, honestly, there are a lot, and good for India. Like democracy is, we hear the word, but are we really in democracy? That's the question. But speaking of social media, I have a question. Have you ever tried online dating?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Anika has tried online dating because actually, in light of that, the founder of Muslim dating app Muzz claims Jewish dating app cloned it. A Jewish dating app called Jews has allegedly copied Muslim dating app Muzz. CEO Shahzad Yunus said on X he pointed out that the Jews did not bother to change the profile guidelines page before replicating it from the Muzz website. The rip-off of Muzz continues, of course, which is called like Welcome Jews, a Jewish dating app, which is not only it's a clear copy of the brand name, but they also cloned the site so poorly that they forgot to edit the profile guidelines page before copying it from the website. Shahzad as well, Yunus, founder and CEO of Muzz Jews, launched by Andy Rundick in April, claimed on its website to have over 35 years of creating lasting relationships with a track record of thousands of relationships and marriages. The company also hosts events it claims are exclusive. So, the thing is, I feel like, honestly, it's giving like, you can take my homework, but just like don't make it obvious.
Yes, of course. Nothing new though for Israelis in general. There's the whole, from falafel to songs to land, they steal a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's very upsetting, but also to be on the other side, the concept of Muzz itself is not very new.
Yeah.
It's essentially Tinder, but for Muslims.
That's true.
Which in itself, I personally find a little iffy.
Okay.
Because why do we need to separate? I do not accept, I'm not very okay with the idea of dating apps being exclusive to any specific community. But I understand that a lot of people want someone from their own community, and that's all right. But me personally,
I mean, like the app Muzz is because like like a lot of like Muslims, they have like very strict boundaries of like they want to date someone from the same religion and the same sect exactly, and the application as well allows you to like choose from the same sect. You know what I mean? If you're like Sunni or Shi'i, but the fact that they copied it and they forgot, like sometimes when you're copying something and it's not even yours, you tend to like forget to keep. There are some clues right here and there, that it is a copy and it's not actually the original one. And they just like copied it, as you said, they have been doing this for so long. There's a song, Ana Dami Falastini, right?
Yeah.
And they even copied it.
It's nothing new for them. It's something that keeps happening.
That's
something
true.
that's constantly called out, but doesn't change, does it?
That's true.
One after the other, everything's copied.
I agree with you, and like they even at this point they are copying as well business ideas. You know what I mean? Like it's like fine, like you guys have taken a lot, stolen a lot, whether it's like music, food, and the list goes on and on. But even to business ideas.
Yeah, I think I'm a little more fine whatever with Jews.
Yeah.
But what really pisses me off is food. The appropriation of food.
Oh God, yeah.
From Israeli falafels
Yeah.
to Israeli za'atar to Israeli olives.
Yeah.
Those don't exist.
Exactly.
Those aren't real things.
They're not.
And
no.
to take someone's land and take someone's ideas and then say it's yours, it's just takes a special kind of colonizer.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, they actually, like they take it, mark it as their own, and then they believe it. You know what I mean? The thing is, like, they know it's not theirs, yet they do believe it. That's a very sad thing.
But it's a very interesting story, and I'm really glad that the CEO was able to call Jews out.
That's true, yeah.
It's a developing story, of course. Let's see. Yes. We need to wait and see if Jews respond, how they respond. Will they deflect? Will they fight back? Very interesting.
I mean, for sure they'll fight back. But let's jump to our next story. So, Meta says that Israel-Hamas misinformation likely AI-generated Meta. So Meta said that it had found likely AI-generated content used deceptively on its Facebook and Instagram platforms, including comments praising Israel's handling of the genocide in Gaza, which were published below posts from global news organizations and US lawmakers. Now, in a quarterly security report, the social media company revealed that accounts posing as Jewish students, African Americans, and other concerned citizens targeted audiences in the US and Canada. The campaign, of course, was as well attributed to Tel Aviv-based political marketing firm. So Meta has been detecting basic profile photos generated by artificial intelligence and influence operations since 2019. However, the recent reports is the first to reveal the use of text-based generative AI technology, which emerged in late 2020. And concerns have been raised by researchers about the potential of generative, AI to produce human-like text, imagery, and audio, and thus, enabling more effective disinformation campaigns and as well potentially influencing elections. Okay.
Two things to look at this story.
Go on, all ears.
First of all, Meta in general, problematic history with supporting genocidal causes, supporting almost always Meta finds itself on the wrong side of history.
True.
Be it in Myanmar with the Rohingyas, be it in India with the anti-Muslim campaigns. They've become a tool for a lot of hate propagation, which is very problematic. But I'm really glad that they themselves were able to call themselves out, talk about it, blame AI for it, which is interesting. And that brings me to the second point, the rise of AI. What's happening there? How are we sure it's rising rapidly? It's actually doing a lot of good. I personally don't think it's coming in to steal jobs per se. Perhaps it is going to come in and encourage people to upskill, but perhaps not steal jobs. But again, AI, who's monitoring this? How are we going to develop further now that AI it's developing rapidly? It's going far, way beyond what the creators or the inventors actually thought would happen. So what's happening? What exactly is going to happen from now on? Yeah,
I mean, 100%. I do agree with you. But speaking of this, of course, because the thing is AI can be your friend and your enemy if used correctly, it can be your friend. If used in like not an appropriate manner, it's going to be your enemy for sure.
Like
And
with
in
a lot
that
of
case,
things.
100%, you know what I mean? And I feel like, this point, social media and Meta and AI, all of it, it's like it has its own politics in a way. And in this case, like it's very easy now for, like, let's say, regarding what's happening between Israel and Hamas and the genocide happening, it's very easy for both parties to duplicate an image of AI that is going to be generated, as if like, or perceived as real. Because like right now with AI, the images that you can see, they can look so real and so actually as if it's actually, like it's there, when it can be, by the way, not. So of course, having the awareness is very important.
100% there is that, but at the same time we have also moments of AI victory, like the All Eyes on Rafah post. 34.9 million reshares, and suddenly people were more aware about what's happening in Rafah, because not only did this AI image take over everybody's stories, but it also became a trend then to reshare it on Instagram stories. So in a lot of ways, while Meta is propagating this, Meta is also becoming the tool for people to educate, to organize. So we're in a gray area.
We
essentially.
are, exactly. And as I said, like it can be either used wisely or not. And in that case, like when there was the post, as you said, like in 24 hours, you guys, 30 million people reshared the post of All Eyes on Rafah, and it created a lot of awareness, of course, because like right now with what's happening and the genocide, you just like, and you think in a way like, how can I help? What can I do? I mean, you try to, like with posting just like to maybe raise more awareness and maybe make it even, I don't know, talk about it, maybe educate people who are not aware, because some people will be like, oh yeah, but I didn't know that's history. I didn't know that's what happened. And with a post like that, it can trigger some awareness. So yes, as you said, and as I've said as well, that it can be used to your benefit or it can be used against you. And
speaking of awareness, let's jump into our next story.
So guys,
which is the lack of awareness, actually. Because racist comments have been piling up in the Financial Times comment section after the Aramco story. So the UK publication Financial Times published an article announcing Aramco's $12 billion share, and the sale sparked a fury of racist anti-Arab remarks in the newspaper's comment sections online. The comments come just weeks after the UK introduced a new law which prohibits foreign governments from owning UK media, and it blocked the sale of UK publications, The Telegraph and The Spectator, to Abu Dhabi-backed Redbird IMI.
All right, so you guys, we have talked about this, of course, like with Lubna, how Saudi wants, the publication to be there, but the article, I mean, for the article, and to have like a comment said as like, oh hey, that's why you should never trust an Arab. That is, by the way, like those stories. The guy is writing a story regarding the genocide, and then for someone to write a comment like, hey, never trust an Arab, because like he mentioned like in the story like about like the history and so on, and as well that's why you should not trust an Arab. But that's kind of like racist in a way. That's actually very racist, and that's very, I would say, not cool.
100%. That is extremely racist, and the type of comments that we see were also, just mean. They bought. Wait, sorry, 1 second. Let me pull out those comments. Because we've got a few.
Here we have a comment that says, come on, how many racist comments do you find in Arabic posts that relate to Western countries? You know what I mean? Just because the guy wrote an article that is for the favor of Arabs, that does not mean that he is being racist. Not at all.
I don't think it was necessarily even for Arabs. It was just talking about Saudi's plans, which is very justified considering we are talking about Aramco, and they are major players in the market, especially when it comes to financial, like the Financial Times. Like it's as a business paper, Financial Times has every right to talk about this. People's response to it, obviously very poor. They, there are comments going on like, pity they don't pay to rebuild Gaza. That's their job, not ours. Well, technically, if you're from the UK, it was kind of your fault, not ours. Like, there's a lot of back and forth on this, and to use this as an excuse, to use any story about Saudi Arabia as an excuse to just say it's like this is a bad place. It's just in bad taste. It's ignorant. It's coming from a lack of awareness, and it's very sad.
I mean, I do agree with you.
But what I also like is that Saudi Arabia is not one to bow down to such allegations. They're not really one to take these allegations seriously. For a lot of the Saudi approach is, okay, keep talking, we'll see.
I mean, yeah, exactly. See, this is like, but because I think they are kind of like as well very pity because Saudi Arabia, I think, is looking to have a magazine open in Saudi Arabia. And of course, like we know with Saudi Arabia and how it's opening up and how it's like, I mean, the economy in Saudi Arabia got really better. And as well, Aramco belongs to Saudi Arabia. And of course, no matter what happens, it all comes back to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia as well, not only with oil and business and economy, but as well, by the way, like they have opened up everything ever since King Salman, decided to like open up everything for like from cinemas to women driving, and the list goes on and on and on of all of the changes that we have noticed and seen. So I think I would not expect others to understand, and it would be kind of like, I would say, expected to come through. Like comments are expected to come through for sure.
I mean, look at a place like Dubai or the UAE. 50 years back, you would have seen. Sorry, 50, which we just started. But like, okay, 20 years back, you would have seen a lot of comments going on like, okay, what's Dubai all about? This like desert piece of land, what are they going to do with it? And look at what we've done with it. It's become the hub. And Saudi is going through a similar transformation. They're calling in all the businesses. They're major players in the market. They've already had a lot of power in the Arab world, and now they are expanding this power. And the West doesn't like it, but the West doesn't like a lot of things, and that's just something we deal with.
Agreed. Well, now let's jump to our next story. So this is very interesting because there is backlash against Inside Out 2, and you guys, I can tell you it is intense. So due to Disney's partnership with McDonald's for movie promotions, it happened when the movie as well had included toys in McDonald's and Happy Meals given at McDonald's heavy boycott. Of course, we know that, amid the Gaza genocide, there has been a lot of boycott happening specifically to McDonald's. And this association has further fueled the boycott against both Disney and Inside Out, amplifying the challenges to the film's release. Now, we know people are boycotting at this point
McDonald's,
brands,
KFC, Domino's, Pizza.
The list goes on and on.
Disney.
Right now, Disney, because of Starbucks, and even celebrities and influencers. Like we have seen Mu'taz Aziza, the greatest Palestinian journalist, getting a lot of slack because he did not talk for a short period of time because he I would say like left Palestine, which is totally his right. You know what I mean? It's totally his right. If he wants to just step out of the scenario and maybe just focus on himself, that is totally fine. But he got a lot of slack for that.
Yeah, I don't believe in the online concept of calling people out for these things, because a great example of why that shouldn't have happened is with Amal Clooney.
Exactly.
People kept dragging her through the mud, saying, you're not speaking out, you're not talking about Palestine, you're not speaking up for them. But it turns out she was on the ICJ ruling panel, and she was pushing for the decision to send an arrest warrant to Netanyahu.
That is true, yeah.
And especially someone like Mu'taz, to put that burden of talking for the people on him after this man has barely managed to scrape himself and get out of there. It's unfair.
Yeah.
But coming back to the Disney story.
Yeah. I mean, just because he has McDonald's.
No.
Imagine.
No, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Because Disney has not only used McDonald's in the cartoon, but they've also collaborated with McDonald's to promote this film. McDonald's is doing Happy Meal toys and just in general that. And as you know, Disney at the start of when the whole thing has started this year, this or last year, Disney donated around $2 million or $20 million. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they did donate quite a sum of money to Israel.
Yeah, that's true.
Disney in general has a history of being on the wrong side of history again, because since the beginning they were anti-Semitic. They have instances in their animations itself of being anti-Semitic. There's obviously the racism is over the charts. I mean, look at Jasmine.
Yeah.
Look at the portrayal of Jasmine. They've also been sexist. They've promoted very harmful gender stereotypes. So in a lot of ways, Disney has always been problematic.
I agree with you, but like to come back to the film here, what I mean here is that the film is getting cancelled. You know what I mean? Like people at this point are not afraid of even cancelling movies.
Yeah, of course, because you watch the film, you're promoting Disney. You're giving money to Disney while watching the film.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
And that's your choice. I think you have a lot of power as a consumer, more than as an employee or as an employee in Disney. You have a lot of power as a consumer. You can choose what you want to give your money to. You can choose what stocks you want to invest in, and that speaks a lot.
100%. And as well, people are very angry. You know what I mean? They're just like angry because they're like, fine. The main thing that, yes, they have boycotted Disney, and they have boycotted as well a lot of brands and a lot of people and celebrities, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. But regarding this movie Inside Out, they boycotted it because there was, like this Happy Meal in the movie, and they were like, oh my God, they made a very big fuss about it. However, of course, you guys, the boycotts never end. It will continue because people at this point, our generation is not an easy generation to deal with. And
I wouldn't say we're not an easy generation. I just think we're a more aware generation.
Yeah.
We know we have the power and we're not afraid to use it. That kind of generation.
Yeah, agreed. Well, you guys, thank you so much, Anika, for joining me today. And thank you guys as well for listening to us. Don't forget, we go as well on podcast form. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow, same time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.